Hey folks, Tom Norfleet with www.citizenshipquickly.com. Wanted to talk to you today about the Malta Citizenship by Investment Program. This program takes about 12 months to complete. It's citizenship for life, and it can be passed down to future generations by descent. It's currently a member of the EU since 2004 and also part of the Schengen area since 2007. The number of people or number of families that have actually got involved with this citizenship since inception is about 1,500. It does have a stringent requirement as far as contribution. You would have to actually contribute, not invest. This is a contribution of 650,000 euros that's not refundable. There's also investment of 150,000 euros that actually goes towards government bonds. It's getting a pretty low rate of return. You also have to invest in a home of at least 350,000 euros. And or you can have another option. You can invest or actually pay 16,000 euros a year for a rental unit, and this is done every year. The amendment that actually allowed this to pass started in November 2013, and this was the Citizenship Act, Chapter 188 of the laws of Malta. Malta has visa-free and visa-free on arrival to 183 countries and territories. It's a really good passport. It has the seventh best passport in the world as far as visa-free travel goes. The legal fees for this passport is one of the highest of any of the countries that we deal with. And you can live, work, and study in any of the 28 countries in the EU, including Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and also Liechtenstein. So it is a good passport. It's got a lot of benefits to it, but the expense is pretty high. The 150,000 euros invested in the bonds have to be held for at least 5 years. On top of the fees that I've already mentioned, already spouses and children are required to contribute 25,000 euros each, and unmarried children between the ages of 18 and 25 and also adult parents must contribute 50,000 euros each. You cannot rent out the $350,000 minimum property that you bought for at least 5 years, and if you go with the rental option of paying 16,000 euros a year, that property has to be rented for at least 5 years, and it cannot be subleased. And these are some things that you have to look at because the government really wants you to move there. I mean, that's the whole purpose that they're trying to do here. As far as the taxes go in Malta, the basis for the taxation under the Maltese tax system is based on domicile and residency and not citizenship. Tax residents of Malta who are not domiciled in Malta are taxable on a remittance basis. In other words, if you are in Malta at least 183 days a year, your taxed if income is remitted from outside of Malta. If you make your income inside Malta, that's also taxed too. If the property is sold that you've got before 3 years lapses, there is a property tax of 12% on the selling price of the property. This can be avoided if 5 years goes by before you actually sell, and 3 of those years you have to have used the property as your personal residence. So these are some real stringent requirements that you have to think about. There is no inheritance tax, no estate duty, no net worth wealth taxes. There's no municipal taxes or rates or estate taxes or what's called, and there are also no real estate taxes either. Maltese government does have individual tax rates as high as 35%. The taxes on property in Malta are actually pretty high. There's a lot better options, which I'm going to go over in a minute. But the buyer of a property pays up to a 5% stamp duty on the purchase price of a property, and the seller pays 8% of the purchase price. On summary, folks, this is an expensive program, probably the most expensive for what you're getting back. My take on this is I would look at the difference between this and even a St. Kitts passport. There's a drastic difference between St. Kitts and Malta. Malta does have more visa-free travel, but this is the key. Look at the countries that you'd be traveling to that's extra, that you can get more countries to travel with, a Malta passport versus St. Kitts. Are you really going to be going to those extra countries? If you are and you're looking at getting EU residency, then maybe this is worth it to you. But if you're not going to move to Malta and you're not looking really, you're looking at cost, visa-free travel, St. Kitts is going to beat the heck out of Malta on that. Now, Malta does have visa-free travel to the United States, one of the few countries that does have visa-free travel to the U.S. So, I mean, this is something you have to think out too. But I'm going to tell you, tax-wise, St. Kitts has no individual income tax. It's a lot cheaper than Malta, and Malta has this brackets as high as 35% on individual tax rates. So this is something you need to think about. Folks, if you got a tax problem, we can show you how to get down to zero. I would get something done. Our fee is a lot less than what you're going to pay in taxes every single year. And you're looking at, our fee is one time, taxes is every year. If you want a second passport, we do with all the citizenship by investment programs and residency programs. Just hit us a comment or a question below if you have that. If you want new videos as they come out, hit the subscribe button to the right of your screen. We'll get that out to you as soon as it comes in. Look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care. Bye.